Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be doing a general reading for the cardinal fire sign of Aries. Before we get to the actual reading though, I'd like to take a few moments to talk about the astrological correspondences to this cardinal fire sign, which are the cards that you see right here. We'll begin with this card in the center, which says Aries right in the middle and shows the constellation for Aries right here, and a question up at the top, which is what I really love about this deck. It's the Stories Oracle from the 8th house, which comes in a box like this, and I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can purchase this deck for your own collection if you'd like to do that. The question up here asks, what if you could start fresh? And Aries being the cardinal fire sign of the Zodiac, it begins the season of spring, after the harsh winters behind us. This is the promise that a new beginning is coming, a new life, and spring is springing up all around us, that kind of energy. But that question we just asked, that's something you can ponder and think about, use that to take control of your life and really make it what you want it to be. And whether your sun, moon, rising, any part of your chart is in Aries or not, this is an important question to ask yourself, what if you could start fresh? And that kind of reminds us that even if it feels like we can't, every day is a new opportunity to begin fresh. Change that mindset that you can't do anything. Change that mindset that you're stuck. Every day that you wake up is a fresh opportunity to start something new. We'll begin with the first court card, astrologically connected to Aries, which is the first two decans of Aries, about March 20th, 21st to about April 10th. And it's the Queen of Wands. And this is from the Trionfi della Luna by Deviant Moon from the Illustrated Pips edition. But in all of the Trionfi della Luna illustrations, with the different decks, even if it's not Illustrated Pips, this is the illustration that you will see. And what I really like about this illustration is she is going her own way despite all the voices behind her telling her otherwise. And that's the energy of Aries, I feel. You do your own thing. You're not scared to begin something new. And that inner fire helps you take control and really lead in your life doing what you love. You're the natural leader of the Zodiac. Like I said, you're the one that starts everything, the entire wheel. It begins with you, Aries. So don't listen to what anybody else says. Don't let those voices fill you with doubt. Have the confidence you need to go after your dreams. And that's kind of the energy of that queen, I feel, is that creative, enthusiastic energy of, this is what lights my inner fire and I'm not scared to go after it. The court cards to be astrologically connected to the third decan of Aries, as well as the first two decans of Taurus, is the King of Pentacles. And you can see here he's very, very well off. He's sitting in his throne in the middle of the garden. And that's the energy of the third decan of Aries as it kind of moves further into spring. Winter is kind of just pretty much behind us, although I know there are times when it'll be the middle of April and it'll be 20 degrees Fahrenheit and snowing. So you can't always trust the weather and assume that it's going to be nice all the time once spring begins. There's still that cold energy that just wants to keep going. Jack Frost never really wants to give up winter. But the third decan, astrologically connected, is the about the 11th through the 20th of April. And that's the energy of this card, kind of showing that grounding energy and really getting comfortable in your skin and comfortable in life and really feeling in control. And this is from the Groovy Weight, by the way, which I'll leave a description down in the box below of where you can purchase that deck as well as any of the cards that you see here today. The court cards astrologically connected, those were the court cards astrologically connected to Aries. And we have the minor arcana down here with these three cards. You have the first decan of Aries with the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Wands for the second decan, and the 4 of Wands for the third decan. So we'll start with the 2 of Wands. This is the first decan, so about March 21st to about March 31st. And I like to call this the should I stay or should I go card. And like we talked about with the weather, it's winter isn't completely sure it wants to leave just yet, about towards the end of March. So the kind of, even that energy of, do I really want to leave or do you want to move into spring and stuff like that, that's kind of the energy of this card, and it's a good way to remember it, because it's a kind of indecisive time for the life around us, so it's might be indecisive for you as well. So this is a card of facing choices and deciding which path you want to take. Kind of that energy of should I stay or should I go. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to move somewhere new or anything like that. It's just questioning of whether you want to begin a new path. 2 is a kind of a number of choices and partnerships and stuff like that. So there is that making the choice to trust in your higher self and begin a path that feels right to you. And this is from the Arcanum Tarot, which is a really interesting deck, and it's got like photographic pictures, kind of looks realistic. And then we move to the Three of Wands, which is the second decan of Aries, which is about April 1st to April 10th. And this is from the Couture Tarot by Megan Skinner. And I love this illustration, and if I'm being honest, the Three of Wands is my favorite card of the entire tarot. This is just letting your freak flag fly and not letting anybody stand in your way of being your original unique self. So following the Two of Wands, you know, it shows making that choice. And you can see in this illustration right here, this woman is not dressed for the situation and environment she's found herself in, but she doesn't care. She's being her unique original self and just letting that fiery energy that we talked about with the Queen of Wands up here, like leading her and not letting anybody stand in her way of her dreams. So once you make that choice to follow what lights your inner fire, you know, you really stand in your own individuality and your unique original self. So that brings us to the Beauty of Horror Tarot, which I've chosen for the Four of Wands, which you can see this guy is fully celebrating his uniqueness and weirdness. Now this card often comes up to show like a celebration of perhaps like a wedding or something like that, because 4 is a number of a strong foundation, and we'll see that up here with Edgar Allan Poe as well. But it often kind of shows like a wedding or coming together of that kind of celebration, but it doesn't have to. It's kind of that strong foundation exists within you, whether you have someone else beside you or not. So making the choice to follow your inner fire, really leading in your life and beginning the path that feels right to you and being your unique original self, gives you that ability to feel strong and confident in the skin you're in and really dance to the beat of your own music and enjoy life. Like you're really creating this strong foundation with what you're passionate about. And I feel like Aries is one of the signs most capable of doing that, you know, really taking control, leading in life, and feeling like you can achieve anything. That brings us to the major arcana card astrologically connected to Aries, which is the Emperor. And this is from the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. And you can see Edgar Allan Poe himself sitting between 2 ram heads as he writes another best-selling novel. Now, whatever your Emperor status is to you, whatever your strong foundation consists of, believe in it. As this is a 4 as well, it relates to that strong foundation that we talked about with the Four of Wands. That shows that whenever you make that choice to follow your own passion and do what lights your inner fire, you're creating this strong foundation all on your own. You don't need to do what everybody else is doing. You don't need to create a strong foundation that's been done already. Be your unique, individual, just amazing self and create the strong foundation that lights your inner fire. I feel like with this energy here, you know, you have the Queen and the King as well of different suits. It kind of shows that inner fire that you possess to go after your dreams and really believe in yourself. And you also have that grounding energy of the King of Pentacles over here that shows that you're stable and you're comfortable and you can achieve anything. And if there's this mindset right now of, I don't know what you're talking about, this isn't true, this isn't me, I want you to believe in yourself more. I want you to change that mindset, change that internal monologue, and believe in your own worth. Like Edgar Allan Poe used his darkness and his depressing situations in his life to create an empire that we still listen to and we still read today. So never doubt yourself, Aries. If there's anybody capable of achieving something amazing, it's definitely you. While this did sound like an actual reading, it's not. This was just the astrological correspondences to Aries, and if you've taken the time to watch all of my videos for the spring 2022 tarot readings, I've mentioned the astrological correspondences to every single sign. So even if you're not like familiar or like have that much energy of one of those signs, you might want to watch all the videos. Not telling you to, you do what makes you happy. You will learn the different signs and the different correspondences to the different tarot cards. So that's just the look at the astrological correspondences, and I'll get these cards out of the way and we'll get to your actual reading, okay, Aries? The deck we'll be using for your reading, Aries, is the Shadowland Tarot. You can see it right here. Before we get to the reading, I'd like to show you the crystals that I'm using to connect with your energy more. We have fire agate up here. I'm not sure if it's agate or agate. My husband says it's agate. I think agate sounds prettier, but there it is nonetheless. Aquamarine, Apache tears, emerald, citrine, aventurine, carnelian, and amethyst. So there's many more other crystals that you can connect with Aries with, but those are the ones that I'm using. Now the reason I've chosen this deck for your reading, Aries, is because one of my favorite people in the world, I'm not going to share her name, absolutely loves this deck. And she's an Aries. Her birthday is around the second decan of Aries. So her energy is one of my favorite energies in the entire world, and she is most of the reason I have the confidence to do these readings and to continue tarot, because she's made me believe in myself. A lot of times, like, people like talk down to us and stuff like that, we don't have the confidence to go after our dreams. And while it isn't needed for other people to lift us up, it does help to alleviate those negative voices we might have of whether we can do something or not. So, shout out to the girl I'm not going to mention on here. I adore you and I hope you enjoy this message. We're not asking anything specific here. It's just whatever the cards want to share with you, Aries. That's what we are asking for. Any insight, inspiration, and empowerment the Shadowland Tarot has to share with you today. That's what we are asking to see and what we want to hear, and we thank the cards for doing so. Without the cards, I would not have the voice to share with you. So I greatly appreciate anything that these cards had to share with us. This is for you, Aries. It's whatever the Shadowland Tarot has to share with you. Whatever inspiration, insight, empowerment, messages of caution. Seriously, there's nothing specific here. It's just a general reading for about spring 2022. Whatever messages the Shadowland wants to share with you, whatever messages your guides want to share with you, that's what we're asking today. So we have the cards there, and we just have to get the decks a little bit more smooth. Get the cards all back in normal in a single deck. We have the card on the bottom of the deck, and we'll fan the cards out as such and pick 3 at random. Just get them all back up. Turn over this card so you see what's at the bottom of the deck, which is the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the 4 of Swords. So as I said, this is in no particular order, Aries, but since we read left to right, it just makes sense to me to begin with this 9 of Swords over here and work our way around till we get to the bottom of the deck. So the 9 of Swords, as you can tell, not exactly a positive card. Dude is terrified as he's going to sleep, but anybody would be, I suppose, if there was a giant spider hanging from the ceiling with a bunch of babies dangling from it. I'm cool with spiders myself, to an extent, but if there's one in the bed or there's one in the room, yeah, that's kind of scary, especially the ones that are that huge. And I mean, I've seen spiders that big. It's terrifying, but that's not really what the energy of that card is. It is a card of like fear and stuff like that, but it's more inner demons and the workings of the mind filling you with that fear and keeping you from getting a good night's rest. So thinking back to those the energies of those cards that we met with the astrological correspondences, you know, taking control of your life, really leading in your life, and making the choice to like follow what lights your inner fire. The 9 of Swords kind of suggests to me that you kind of fear that power a little bit. Like, instead of your mind being your greatest ally and helping you go to achieve your goals, your mind might be working against you, filling you with doubt, insecurity, and anxiety about what the future might hold. So this 9 appearing for you, Aries, kind of gives me the idea that you might have trouble falling asleep at night, maybe worrying about what might occur or what your brilliant, passionate ideas might lead to, like doubting your own abilities to achieve them. But you can achieve them. You can achieve anything when you set your mind to it. And like I said, you're the cardinal fire sign of the Zodiac. Like, that passion and enthusiasm, that's what you lead with, Aries. And I find it interesting in this reading that there are no cards even relating to that fire and passion. We have the Hangman, which is the only major arcana card, but mostly it's the mind. And we have a little bit of earth energy up here as well, but it feels like, I feel like your mind might be working against you a little bit too much right now, Aries, and you're unable to take control like you really want to do. The Hangman, not exactly a fun card, but it is a creative card because it has the energy of the 12. which reduces to 3 the number of creativity and creation itself. So there is a creative energy of this card. And following the Nine of Swords here kind of suggests, taking the time to really sit with your thoughts and having patience as you work to overcome those inner demons and really take control of your life. It's illustrated here as a bat. So it's kind of that the kind of energy kind of shows, bats are really comfortable. That's how they sleep, is upside down. And I do apologize in this video, Aries. I hear cows mooing, I hear dogs barking. I don't know if you can hear them in the video or not, but I will do my best to try to keep them at bay. We'll just continue with what we're doing, and hopefully they'll be good. But the Hangman, the bat is in that position, and that's how they're most comfortable. And kind of like it's a reminder that, again, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You don't have to follow this same path. Be your unique self. Hang upside down if that's what makes you comfortable. Just be yourself and allow the time to really sit with your thoughts and have patience with yourself as you work to grow those passionate ideas into something. Don't let those inner demons fill you with doubt and keep you from getting a good night's sleep. Really take control and have patience and connect with your higher self in order to alleviate these stressful feelings and really take control of your life. But as Aries is a very passionate sign, and I'm a Sagittarius sun with Aries moon, so I have a little bit of this energy as well. Patience is the last thing that we want to hear. But in order to achieve anything, and I don't want to hear this either, I made this little saying up when I was a kid. It goes something like, patience is a virtue I do not possess. I'll only have patience when I'm laid to rest. Yeah, I made that up when I was really little because I do not like anybody telling me to have patience. But the Hangman appearing for you here today, Aries, suggests, having patience with yourself, not really letting those inner demons gain control of your mind or anything like that, and really sitting with your thoughts and letting the best answers come to you. Because when you take that time for yourself and really have patience with the process and really think outside of the box, because that's a lot of the energy of Hangman as well, is thinking differently and not being afraid to do new things. When you really trust yourself enough with that and you really sit and let those thoughts come to you, you really gain more control over your life and you feel more confident. And that confidence is what will give you the ability to really create the life that you are passionate about. The Four of Swords follows the Hangman here. And like the Hangman that I just mentioned, there is a very strong little rest and reflection and having patience energy to this card. And you can tell this from this illustration, as the mummy is just chilling out as the sun sets, or maybe the sun's rising, I'm not sure. But he's just chilling and letting the thoughts and his energy be calm so that he can really listen to his higher self and decide what he wants to do. Unlike the character over here in the Nine of Swords, who's terrified as he's falling asleep, the character in the Four of Swords, nothing's bothering him. His mind is not working against him. He is in control, and he's resting and reflecting before he moves forward. I always go to the Rider-Waite-Smith illustration of this Four of Swords because I feel like it really depicts the energy of this card. Because in that illustration, there is a soldier who's laying on what would have been his final resting place, laying on, I believe it's a sarcophagus, and kind of just laying there because he didn't know what he was going to do with his life. Having just come back from war, he wasn't even sure if he'd be alive or not to really do something new with his life. So he needs to take that time to rest and reflect, really learn from the past in order to decide what he wants to do moving forward. Seriously, a car driving past our house will set the dogs off. So again, I apologize for that, but you get the idea here. Definitely rest and reflect. Don't just rush into something. Both the Hangman and the Four of Swords suggest taking the time to really think everything through before you really act. Those inner voices, those voices of inner demons just filling you with doubt and insecurity, taking the time and really having patience with yourself, like these two cards suggest, to alleviate that stressful feeling and those voices that are telling you and working against you. Just taking the time and having patience with yourself will help you create that strong foundation that you are passionate about. So this is a four, so it relates back to the Emperor and the Four of Wands that we met earlier, that you have what you need to really succeed. Just taking the time to think everything through, really having patience with the process will help you succeed. The Three of Pentacles is the card at the bottom of the deck for you, Aries. You can see here the character is very proud of the work that he's done, and he's showing it off to this character down here. So it's a 3, like I mentioned with the Hangman, so it kind of relates back to this card as well, and having patience with the process and really we're putting forth the effort to create the life that you want to live. And there's a financial aspect to this 3 as well, because it is the suit of pentacles, so it's what makes you feel comfortable and enjoy the life you live. So perhaps this reason that your inner demons are working against you right now, Aries, is because you have this new idea that might be financially successful for you, but you're unsure of the path forward with it. So with the Hangman appearing, with following that 9 of Swords, as well as the 4 of Swords, kind of shows that energy of really taking the time to sit with your thoughts, have patience with the process, and think outside of the box. You don't have to do everything, like I said, like everything that everybody else does. Show off that natural, creative, unique ability that you have, and let that inner fire lead you to creating the life that you truly love and enjoy. And the key to finding financial success with it, like this character is showing here, is to be able to share it with others. You know, you don't have to do it all on your own. You can collaborate with others as well and really grow those ideas. But when you have something and you want to share it and like want to make money off of it, then you have to be willing to share it with others. Be passionate about it. Show that enthusiasm for it, and you'll make others want it too. That's really the energy of the 3 of Wands that I talked about earlier for the second decan of Aries, is that energy of just being your unique individual self. And when you allow that and you just feel comfortable in your own skin and you're not letting those inner demons get the best of you, you're showing people it's okay to be themselves as well, and showing others like to be themselves. I mean it when I tell you, Aries, that there's nothing you can't do. And I've said this in most of the videos, most of these readings, that even if you're not an Aries, you still, as long as you believe in yourself and you have the confidence to make your dreams a reality, you can make those dreams a reality. So face those inner demons and overcome that doubt in your mind. Really take the time to think outside of the box, and don't be afraid to go after something different. Really think everything through. Have patience with the process. Really rest and reflect on where you've been as well, because you can learn from where you've been to really take control and lead in your life in the present. And that brings you to the bottom of the deck with the 3 of Pentacles, which shows sharing those ideas and those passions and those creative thoughts with others, and collaborating perhaps, or even just selling those passion and ideas to others to make a profit. The first step in achieving anything, Aries, is to believe in yourself. This 9 is so close to that completion of the 10, but in order to find that completion and success, you have to overcome those inner demons and believe in yourself. This is just a general reading, Aries, so it may resonate with you, it may not. If you would like a more personalized reading, then feel free to comment on this video or reach out to me on any of my socials or book it straight from my website. All of the information will be left down in the description box below. I do hope that you enjoyed this message and it gives you the confidence and the empowerment to really make your dreams a reality, because I promise you, Aries, there's nothing you can't do when you really believe in yourself. So go after those dreams, show the world what you can do, and be confident in their skin that you're in, because you are a natural leader. That inner fire will take you far if you allow it. I want to thank you very much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed the message. I apologize for the dogs barking in the video, and I thank you for sticking through it, and I'll see you again soon.